Okay, welcome back to our next episode of the Mother playthrough.
This is episode 10.
Yeah, and where are we currently?
Well, we're still in that town, that hub town we've been at for a while. Well, now we're going to go to Easter, I believe they call it.
Yeah, Easter.
Um,
We just went to Mother's. No, Mother's Day is the first town. We went to
Snowman to get her.
Snowman, yeah. And did I already mention everybody looks like they're in pajamas?
Yeah. Because they totally do.
Cougar.
This person is much better than Zed. She's got a lot of magic. She gets like a ton of magic every level.
Yeah,
Well, she was.
She used a lot of side power. She's already got more, well, I don't know if that's our maximum, but she's already got more side points than we do.
Yeah. She is definitely the mage of the group. Magic in this game, I mentioned it slightly in the last one, is really kind of stupid. Because it uses like set amounts of damage.
Right. It doesn't do like, you don't get like more powerful based on your level. It just does a certain amount.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we just go straight to the town. Here you go.
Actually, I guess we're going to Halloween. Easter's a town I don't think actually has a railroad station. It's like a town of just kids or something like that later on.
Okay.
You go to Halloween first to get a melody, basically.
Boy, we went through a lot when we lost that original video
Yeah.
file, didn't we?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to think here. She wants us to go to Easter because that's where, like, all the, a lot of people lived and a lot of people got disappeared there. All the adults disappeared. And I believe her mother disappeared there, too. The problem with these old RPGs, though, is they really don't go too in-depth with the story.
No, not that it's really 100% necessary for this type of game. Like, you don't need to get emotionally involved to a degree. You do a little bit, but not like to the point where it's like, you know, you're on the verge of tears or something like that. It's more like it should fit the type of game it is, and this is kind of a quirky. I don't know, if a few episodes back, or maybe it was last episode, I was trying to figure out a word to describe the game series. It's quirky.
Yeah.
And it needs to have a kind of a quirky storyline, and I guess you could say it's kind of lacking in that. But it's still great. It's still a fun game.
Yeah.
There's still a lot going on in this game.
I would argue, though, that Earthbound, Mother 2, or heck you want to call it, is a lot more emotional.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to connect with it when you start adding more stuff. Like you talk about it a little bit more. I feel like in this game it was like they didn't want to go all the way with their quirkiness, and so they didn't really they didn't tip the scales in either direction. Like they didn't go full on real world esque, and they didn't go full on fantasy. So they're stuck kind of in between. And I guess that would be my current review of the game, is that it's just kind of like in this weird like limbo between like a traditional fantasy RPG and being like this new thing for RPGs, of being like a quirky kind of world where they create almost like a real life situation where kids are trying to save the world, but they didn't fully commit in either direction. So
Right. You know, it's actually kind of... We play a lot of RPGs. A lot. We have a lot. Outside of the Mother series, what other RPGs do we have that take place in modern times?
in modern times, we don't own Persona, but I mean that would be one example. And as far as like another RPG that would be on this level of quirkiness, but not in modern times, would be like the Bard's Tale, what we have for the original Xbox.
Yeah.
But
There are not many that take place
in modern time. I'm having a hard time thinking about that at the time. I'm going to look at our games for a little bit while I try to think of that. There were a few times where the Wild Arms series were kind of in between like like a future technology and a current technology. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII, but they're still not. They're not like regular everyday world stuff. So
No, yeah, that's I guess that's just a major like thing about this game is it's so completely different.
I guess.
on that.
I mean, I don't know. You could sort of say Pokemon to a degree.
Okay, yeah, you could say Pokemon would I think would fit that.
Which we're actually playing Pokemon Blue.
Blue, but we're not doing that. We didn't.
We didn't.
record.
Yeah, we didn't record it for like we've gone through probably about half the game. We haven't recorded it, and it would just be weird to start over or
start
recording now.
If
so.
we get like,
but we've never actually beat the game before, so I mean,
yeah,
you know.
it's actually pretty fun. Actually, we need to play it again sometime here soon. What we need to get is the GBA game, like Leaf Green or Fire Red.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
Because that's basically the first two games just updated.
I tell you what, the first person to make a comment on our videos of Leaf Green or Fire Red, that's the one we're gonna pick. I don't know if anyone will, but the first person that does, that's what we're gonna pick.
Yeah. So that would be awesome if someone does. We every once in a while we'll get some comments, but that would be a cool one to get. Let me think here. I'm still going back to this whole modern. I don't know if I'm going overboard thinking of how to kill this guy or not, but I'm going to try throwing everything I got at him.
Yeah, he did. This guy is gonna get it.
I'm not sure if this does anything actually.
Brain shock. No effect. Okay. No effect.
Yeah.
See, if we were playing Pokemon, it's also no effect. It would be like the end of the world.
I know.
Because if you lose a turn in that game, it's very. I mean, the whole thing is like kind of focused around. There's no real repercussions for losing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, she does have a. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, she's got other stuff. I don't know.
I think Beam is like the best, like just straight up. But there is one game that doesn't take place in modern times per se. In fact, it definitely doesn't at all. But at the very end, very end, it looks normal. And that's Phantasy Star 4.
Phantasy Star 4?
Yeah, because you see, well, is it spoilers if the game's like 30 years old now?
We agreed about some game being spoiled. What game was it last time we played?
Well, I know we didn't want to spoil something from Mass Effect.
Oh, that's right. We were playing Mass Effect Challenge. Yeah, we didn't want to spoil. Yeah, okay. Well, okay. No, it's not. It's not spoiler.
Well, okay. I tell you what. If you don't want a game that's really old spoiled for you in the next, skip ahead a minute.
Right, and it's
Skip ahead a
gonna be Phantasy Star 4.
Phantasy Star 4. We want to spoil it. At the very end of Phantasy Star 4, Chaz and Rika are both wearing street clothes. Like Chaz is wearing denim jeans and like a t-shirt.
Right, they're both wearing regular clothes, but that's to a degree it's what the NPCs were all wearing. So once you're out of a fight, it was pretty interesting to see that because when you're playing the game, you're constantly in war mode. You're constantly fighting, so you have your full suit of armor and you got your weapons. But everyone in town, when you talk to them, they just got regular clothes on.
Yeah.
Well, they're just little characters on the screen. Little characters on the screen, so it's kind of hard to see what they're wearing. But the ending credits, because of that, made you think that they're wearing kind of just regular clothes.
Yeah. Now, a game that doesn't have modern, but not too far from modern, almost World War II type feel to it, is Valkyria Chronicles.
Valkyria Chronicles.
Which we needed to play that with our New Game Plus.
Right.
It's a flimsy excuse to get to play that game again, just play it on here.
Oh yeah, well we haven't beat the expansion pack either, so I mean,
yeah,
all the more reason to play it again. It's a great game, great. I mean, there's another game that we're playing, but other than that and Valkyria Chronicles, there hasn't been very many games. Oh, it's Final Fantasy Type 0, is what I'm thinking of. Other than that, there isn't very many like new age games that I play that I'm like, this is a great game. Like this is
like as good as like the older one.
Right, as good as like this makes me think of how I felt about games as a child, and that is a very hard thing to do. I mean, just in your everyday life.
Right.
So you have to be an amazing game. It has to be an amazing game in order to do that. and Valkyria Chronicles, Final Fantasy Type 0, Mass Effect. These are the games that do that for me.
Right. I would say of the three, honestly, it might. It's tough to say because there's only one Valkyria Chronicles and there's 3 Mass Effects.
Right, so it's a little unfair.
Like, okay, there are other Valkyrias, but they're on the PSP.
Right, so we haven't played them, and more than likely we'll never play them.
Yeah.
Unless we play it on an emulator on a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I'm not going to play a handheld game. I hate them. I hate handheld games.
Yeah, that's why we never play Pokemon. We're not playing it on a Retron 5, so we're playing it on our big screen. There's a reason why we have a 50-inch screen.
Right. Well, any screen. I mean, for us, we grew up in a huge family, so it was completely unreasonable to think that everyone would get a Game Boy. You know, but even if one person got a Game Boy, is everyone just going to look over your shoulder while you all play at the same time? It's unreasonable and stupid because you can only play one player unless you buy 2 full systems. At the time, it was ridiculous. Now that we're working a little bit more, we have a little more time to ourselves. Playing those handhelds is a little bit more viable, but it's still not quite as fun. So
yeah, I mean, I occasionally do it when I'm like alone, completely alone. I break out a little Game Boy or something. And it's usually just getting experience in our Pokemon game before we put it on the Retron.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all these newer games. Not all of them are great. Some of them are pretty good. We still love these older games. You know, we every once in a while bring up little nitpicking things about this game in particular because we're playing it currently. But this is kind of like to kind of describe how we feel about some other games that we felt were done a little bit better, or ways that it can be improved.
Right.
For, you know, I say future games, but we all know what happens in the future. So I feel like, to a degree, we're almost like time travelers while we're playing this game or any older games.
Right.
Because I see, like, oh, you know what they should have done for a sequel, or what they should do. In this game, I mean, if we're using this as a game as an example, what they should have done, they did with Earthbound. The sequel to this game is phenomenal.
Yeah, Earthbound being one of the cornerstones of the 16-bit RPGs.
It's also one of the few games, possibly even a few bits of entertainment, where a sequel is just ideally, like, just in every way better. Like, not always the case. You know, sometimes it is, and more often than not with video games, it's true. But, you know, if you look at, like, just movies or even books, the sequels are generally not the greatest.
Yeah.
It's always usually, like, the first one and the third one, if there is a third one, that's always really good. Where are we? Where are we?
We are in the Ghost Mansion.
Okay, so where we're supposed to be?
Yeah, that's where we're supposed to go.
This whole way we've been here, there were, like, collapsed walls and stuff. Didn't look too great, but I don't understand what was going on. It's like every wall was, oh, what's this?
I don't think that's anything. It's yeah, I'm not real sure what those collapsed walls are supposed to be.
This would be like a post-apocalyptic world where all the walls have been blown away on a house.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been looking at those things for a while, and I've seen them in other places.
Okay.
Well,
you're going to die.
Things suddenly took a turn for the dark.
Wow. You're going to die. That's not even like a hint or, you know, oh, it's a little spooky. That's fucked up. That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just stick down. Oh, man. This reminds me of the, I don't know. Go back. Yeah, go back. At this point, I would have gone back before. If I was one of these kids, okay, I when I was younger, I considered myself to be brave. But if I heard something say you are going to die,
and then start laughing,
I would be gone. Like, it would be logical to just leave.
Yeah.
Not because I'd be afraid of bats or ghosts. I'd be afraid that there was someone in the building who was going to kill me.
Right.
Like, But, you know, if I had psi powers, I might have thought differently, I guess. So. And if I was level 31, because that's clearly
A high level.
still over-leveled.
Yeah.
Over-leveled for real life.
But anyway, saying earlier
I just take
about
that
Earthbound being one of the cornerstone games,
Mario 64 tells you never go near a piano.
except for when they might give you a music note.
Oh, okay. That's logical, actually. It's a piano. It makes melodies.
Yeah. Was that Bat the thing that was talking to us, or
Was that?
Or
Sure,
that's-
that was just a random fight.
that
because-
probably was? But having right there at the door back there. I mean,
That's not a weird thing with this game. There's not a whole lot of like boss battles.
that's true. Has there been one?
I mean, we fought the Starman back in the zoo.
We fought Starman back there at that hotel.
But wasn't that just a random fight?
No, it
So
was,
we kicked his ass.
well, yeah, it's because we went to sleep at the hotel.
Oh, so another Starman.
Well, here's Biobat, so that's clear it wasn't a boss fight, so that was weird.
I think Starman was actually the first boss battle. I think.
I'm pretty sure. Because there wasn't one in the...
Stone Origin.
Oh.
She is now stone.
Hmm.
Okay, so things just got real. This place is haunted with bats. And the very first place was infested with zombies who were actually ghosts.
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, Stonefix. So
Yeah,
that's convenient.
Yeah.
Have we always had that?
She's got it.
She used it on herself?
Wait, maybe we... No, I used it. Yeah, we got that.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's convenient.
Uh-huh.
These dungeons are, they're not really that big. You know,
No.
so I guess that's one tip for you. They're not too confusing for the most part.
Yeah.
They're not too difficult or too big. So if you're playing it, it's not 100% necessary to look up a guide because, at least to my knowledge, you can't really miss out on too much.
No.
So there's not like there's some games that are just like, if you don't look up a guide, you'll screw up everything, right? You make one little decision. Oh, you can't get this item later, forever. Because, I don't know, for whatever reason, they want to sell a strategy guide. That's why. So sometimes you just look up the strategy guides because you want to know what not to do. And there are some games where the dungeons are so confusing, you don't have 2 or 3 hours to stumble through the dungeon until you get through it. So you look up a guide and you just do it.
Yeah.
This game isn't really that much of a problem. There's plenty of ways to grind to get you up to levels, and it's actually not that bad as far as grinding goes.
Yeah.
And the dungeons are challenging enough, but they're not. We overlevel, so don't really gauge the difficulty based on how we play. But they're challenging enough, and they're just not like. Well, we're getting a little lost right now. but
It's a little annoying.
But I want to get to 10,000 experience. I want to see that. I want to see that odometer go to 0.
That shouldn't be too much more, I don't think.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, you don't have to look up the guides if you don't want to for this particular game.
Now, anyway, I keep on forgetting my point, but as far as the best 16-bit RPGs goes, Earthbound is definitely one of, I would say 3. We got Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, and Chrono Trigger.
Oh God, I forgot about Chrono Trigger. I mean, but can we honestly make a list without Phantasy Star 4 or Super Mario RPG?
Yeah, that would be tough. Those are two very...
Chrono Trigger and Earthbound are on there regardless. So the question is, who gets third place? Do you get Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6, whatever you want to call it?
Right.
Do you put Phantasy Star on there or Mario RPG?
Yeah. I don't know.
It'd be like Sophie's Choice. Is what it's got moved called, right? Sophie's Choice.
The thing about those 3 games, the ones I mentioned, is the songs. hear the theme song to Terra, you know, Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah.
The 8 melody song in Earthbound, and the song that plays as soon as you walk out your front door on Chrono Trigger.
Every song in Chrono Trigger makes you feel like some sort of badass at some point, or kind of pulled you into a world.
Yeah.
Like
those 3 songs immediately make me feel like I'm, you know, 8 years old again or whatever.
Well, I would honestly say the same thing about Phantasy Star 4 though. Every song in Phantasy Star 4 was kind of like a rock opera.
Yeah, it was. Am I going the way right?
We're going
oh,
somewhere.
wait, yeah.
We're going somewhere.
It's a little thing over here.
A little saucer.
Yeah.
And a Barbeau.
Yeah, Barbos. I hate these huge fights. Ah, crap, I screwed up. I don't know why I even did that. I know that he kills those guys in one hit.
Oh, but it wasn't there.
Beam R.
Damn. What was that? Oh, whoa. He is priority target number 1. And they all tried to punch him afterwards.
Well, crap, why did I do that?
Well, we're living on the edge. We are living on the edge.
Whoa.
Does it again. Does it again.
Whoa.
Dead. Kill him. Specifically kill him. Oh, thank God.
Okay, so,
what is Beam R and how do we get it?
I know she gets it, like, at level, like, 50 or something stupid like that.
Wow. They're angels now.
They're dead, yeah. That is unfortunate. Anyway.
He's still got glasses.
Yeah, he does.
She's got, like, eye sockets. He still has glasses.
That is weird. That's a weird artistic choice.
Yeah, we need to get back to somewhere.
There's a town over here. You know what? I think I might have some. What does Revivify do? Oh, that's her. She's got it, so I can't even cast that shit. It's down.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, Phantasy Star 4 does have, like, really good rockin' music. And I will admit that, you know, Super Mario RPG's music, while not being epic, is insanely memorable.
Right. No, the music isn't as epic in Mario RPG. It's still great. I mean, if you compare it to most other just games, you know, you're not gonna. I'm incredibly biased towards RPGs. I don't really know why. I just know that I am. They're just far greater than any other game in my book. But Mario RPG. Where are you going? You trying to get these guys revived?
Yeah, is it down here?
I think so. There's a hamburger shop.
Where is this place?
There's a lot of dog houses, like a ridiculous amount of dog houses.
Yeah.
No dogs though.
What?
No. 5 meals of whiskey and ran off without. Can you make a meal of whiskey? I mean, it's
it
enjoyable.
has calories.
That's true. It does have calories.
Can't really live off
5 meals of whiskey. I don't know. I don't know if you can ever call it a meal, though. Unless you drink so much that it was just considered as like a giant bowl of whiskey. Or something.
Yeah.
He didn't pay for it. Asshole.
There's no
What
legend
an
on the
asshole.
map. There might not be a hospital here.
I don't know. But though, the thing about Mario RPG was the colors and the atmosphere of the game. It's just
Good,
it's
yeah.
definitely one of those very, at this point now, and it's nostalgic. And I think back on it when I last played it, and I didn't consider it to be nostalgic because it was just a game. You just played it.
Right.
You know, you don't play a modern game and think, oh, this is so nostalgic. You just play it.
Yeah.
So where are we gonna go deal with all these?
I don't know. I'm hoping
ghost
there's
buddies
a
we have
hospital
here.
somewhere. You would think there would be. Hey, what's that?
It's blue. It's a blue.
It's nothing.
It's just nothing. It's just a blue.
Oh, God. Is there no hospital in this town?
Okay, what is the shop logo? What is that? A squid or is it a guy with a top hat and a mustache?
Yeah, top hat, I always thought, but
We're gonna need money wherever we're going.
yeah, we need money to heal these people. Thankfully, we got a little bit of money, but we don't have a ton. We used to have a ton.
Right, leave some in there for escrow.
Yeah.
Oh, you aren't going anywhere. So we keep. I guess we didn't technically cure that.
Here it
yes,
is.
here we go. We passed that. We passed that earlier. I thought you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure how you bring it to a life.
Have we ever done this?
No, we've never done it before.
Okay. Here's Z. I don't know. Alright, just relax.
There.
Here's Z. Still unconscious. Pay $300. Okay, that's not much money.
Yeah.
I will gladly pay $300.
To bring someone back to life.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
$300, you got it. You got it. Where did we get these doctors? We need to bring those guys to the real world.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gone. She disappeared. Oh, she's back.
Weird. Weird. So, anyway, kind of forgot what my point was.
Those games are great. That's
Yeah,
probably
the
the
games
point.
are great.
At the end of the day, that's probably
But there is one game that we haven't played that I have heard that is better. Actually, we own it. We can play it. We will eventually play it. Star Ocean.
Star Ocean, yeah. We do own that.
We played it like a little bit that one day.
Yeah. It reminded me. I mean, it's got that kind of. Whoa. Okay, here we go.
I keep on forgetting that we have run.
You can run.
Yeah,
You can run. We've been walking everywhere.
I figured out every few times we play this game.
Oh my God, we have been just crawling everywhere we go. We run almost as fast as this train.
I forget that. I remember it for like one day.
Are you kidding me? We have been moving really slowly this whole time. Okay, alright. Wow. Okay. Let's just talk about Star Ocean. Let's just forget about that.
But yeah, what was interesting when we first booted that game up was the voice.
Right, yeah, there's voice in that game. I mean, there's been voices in games for several years by that point. But it was, pretty good voice, But yeah, of course, it never actually came to the U.S., I don't think.
No.
So we have a ROM. Not a ROM. We don't have a ROM. We have a ROM, but we also have the Japanese cartridge. So
And then we have the patch.
patch to make it English. So the whole thing is pretty cool.
Yeah, you play on the Retron 5, you can patch it, like we did with this. And it's definitely worth buying. Retron 5.
Oh yeah, the Retron 5. Yeah, just buy it just because it looks cool.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stop when we get to this place here.
Yeah,
Where
we're
is
going.
it?
Okay, so this is like the town. This is our town. We go here all the time.
Yeah, well, it's because it's like
The streets are like something you would do
There
on
we
like Sim City. You just put
Yeah.
a big square every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like you have 2 lanes, but it's actually just a square of roads.
yeah. All right, well, this looks like a good enough place to stop. For
Yeah,
now.
we did that. We did the thing at the house.
Yeah.
So let's just leave it there, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of our Mother playthrough.
Yep.